Whatever you do, make sure you visit ashkicking.com for your home fragrance, health, and beauty needs. Quality products at a great price.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Now, before I get into the boxing news, I just want to let you guys know that we didn't do the radio show last week because I ended up flying out here to Dallas, Texas on Sunday to cover the Errol Spence camp. Now, I will be returning tomorrow night, Thursday night, and we will be doing the show 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. We may even be doing another show on Monday because we're supposed to have a special guest in the studio to announce a really good local fight we have out here. It's a really, really good fight, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. You probably know the names of the participants that's going to be on this undercard, but we'll talk more about that on the show. So that show may be on Monday, but for sure we're going to do a show on Sunday on Dante's Boxing Nation. All right, with that out the way, let's get into the boxing news. Now, I thought this was some pretty interesting news. It really caught my attention. It's because we already know there's a really good fight that's coming up real soon, and that is, of course, Anthony Joshua going up against the former long-reigning heavyweight champion, Vladimir Klitschko. Now, what was really interesting about this news is Anthony Joshua reached out to Gerald Washington to, get him to help him prepare for Klitschko, and Gerald Washington turned down Joshua's offer, and he decided to work with Joshua's opponent, the man in the picture right here, Vladimir Klitschko. So I thought that was really, really interesting. Now, I don't know if Vladimir just did this because he really was looking for someone around that height of Anthony Joshua and it was just straight preparation, or was it a psychological ploy? We'll get a little bit more into that, but let's first quote exactly what Gerald Washington had to say when it comes to explaining why he chose Vladimir Klitschko over Anthony Joshua. This is what he had to say to Sky Sports. They asked me to come, and I would love to work with Joshua also, but I wanted to be around someone who has had longevity, like the longtime champion. I want to gain that experience. I want to be around a guy that has worked with great trainers like Emmanuel Stewart and Jonathan Banks. It's great to be around such a great champion like Vladimir, who's been doing it for such a long time. You can feel the knowledge that is floating around, and I'm trying to absorb as much as I can. End quote. This is really interesting because when you look at Gerald Washington's style, it definitely seems as if he would have been helping Anthony Joshua way more than he would have been helping Vladimir Klitschko. I mean, don't get me wrong, once again, when it comes to Gerald helping Vladimir Klitschko, he's around the same height as Anthony Joshua. So, of course, he's athletic, so that helps a little bit. But when it comes to Gerald Washington working with Anthony Joshua, his style, Gerald Washington's style, his style is a lot more like Vladimir Klitschko's style than it is to Anthony Joshua's style. So, this was a big blow that Anthony Joshua took. And this is the reason why I wonder, was this a psychological ploy when it comes to Vladimir Klitschko deciding to hire Gerald Washington? I mean, now we already know that when it comes to Vladimir Klitschko, he has always worked with all of the heavyweight prospects, like all of the most brightest heavyweight prospects. Vladimir Klitschko has worked with almost all of them. He's sparred with almost all of them, from Deontay Wilder to Anthony Joshua to Joseph Parker. He's worked with all of these guys, and that's most likely a way for him to already know what to expect if he has to fight them one day. And that day is coming now, because it's coming real soon, actually, because he's going to be fighting his former sparring partner that he hired, just like he just hired Gerald Washington when it comes to Anthony Joshua. So it'll be interesting to see how this fight plays out. This fight is far more competitive than a lot of people think. A lot of people are automatically just looking at Vladimir Klitschko's age, and you can't just look at his age, because like I keep telling people, in the last 10 years, he hasn't really suffered a lot of damage. I mean, the loss to Tyson Fury, he probably got hit maybe about 10 times in the whole fight. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but that's what it looked like when we actually watched it. So this is going to be an interesting fight, man, because, Vladimir Klitschko, he has, I started to say he has this terrific jab, but when you think about it, every punch that he throws is impressive. He has a very educated, impressive, stiff jab. His right hand is a sledgehammer. And, he has a very sneaky check hook that he throws. While he's setting you up with jabs and you think the right hand is coming, he'll distract you with the jab and surprise you go around your guard and hit you with a hook. So this is going to be a really interesting fight. I'm still leaning towards Anthony Joshua, the young lion, but this is going to be a very, very competitive fight for as long as it lasts. So that's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo! Hey. Yeah.